Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Abomination Goddess podcast, where we sit down once a week to delve into the mysteries of intuition, offer a space to explore the knowing within you, and to help lift the veil so that you can see more of the real world around you. With me, as always, is Casie Halseth. She is the author of the Abomination Born series. It is a fictional portrayal of her real life experiences with the mystical realms. Her action-packed books are full of lessons, insights, and calls for other abomination-born folks in the world to start connecting. And that's what we do each week in our podcast, and why I love it so much. Casie is an
Yay.
yay! She is an award-winning public speaker, and I think that you'll find by watching this podcast and reading her books that she just effortlessly draws her audience into her world, both in her books and on the stage. So welcome, Casie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. My name is Ashley Kim. I am the author of Villainera Goddess. It is a book that I wrote to help women on their journey to set boundaries, build confidence, and to heal themselves. It is a very honest and open look at what I went through and the tools that I used to survive my villain era. I went through my journey alone. And so I wrote this book so you wouldn't have to go it alone. I will be riding this crazy roller coaster with you. Yay! Awesome. Okay. I always say, and I mean it, this is my favorite part of the week. It's when I get to completely be myself with Casie and yeah, get to chat, we get to learn, we get to do all kinds of things.
Same with me. I love it.
Awesome. Okay, so we start each week with show and tell. So I will go ahead and pull up our photos. Okay, do you want to go first?
Why don't you go first?
Okay, I can do that. I am at my mom's house today. She's recovering from surgery and I am hovering like a, not a mama bear, but a mama daughter or a daughter bear. That's what I mean to say. And so I was just looking around her house and kind of cracking up because I definitely get my whimsy from my mother. And I thought I would just show some of my most favorite spots in her house and you guys will know why I turned out the way I did. Okay. So I'll do this one first. I took a picture of these two, and then this over here. Basically, one of the things my mom and I love to do is we go to thrift stores, we find big candelabras and dishes, and then we glue them all together. And we use them to either make plant stands or bird baths or even little bee drinking stations and for our backyard. And so we're always on the search for what can we buy that we can stick together to make some kind of, structure out of it. And so these are a couple that she has at her house. So this one in the back is one that I made for her, and then this is one that she has made. So we like one of the things we do when we go to each other's homes is to be like, "Ooh, what have you made lately?" And we like to look through everything. Or if we're at a thrift store, we'll pick stuff up for each other. So this is a fun way to like kind of just start that creativity and working together as we're both creative. So
I love that.
thank you. And then she always has also instilled in me when we go on vacations, we like to go get stuff from local artists or something from the area. And so I'm now drawing a blank on where this one came from, but it's you just rotate the circle and then the sand moves along with it.
Oh, is that I was
Um,
trying to figure that out. That is so
yeah,
cool.
yeah. And so this is a little mushroom is made out of a stone and now uh
Probably an
carnelian or
agate.
carnelian.
Oh,
Oh, maybe.
carnelian. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking carnelian, but I could be wrong. Um,
It probably is
and
carnelian. Yeah.
yes, this is one of my places that she has like these shelves, and I just stop and look at all of them because I love them so much. This one, so in it was Michigan or Minnesota, whatever, bumps up against the Great Lakes. A local artist there had, she took glass that came out of old homes. So, salvagers go into these old homes and they basically take everything they can that they can sell, somewhere else. So she took all of this glass, melted it down, and then she created a sculpture of what the waves look like when they're iced over in the
Oh,
wintertime. And so,
nice.
yeah, this is one of my favorites. When you touch this, you can just feel everything in this sculpture. So it's one of my most favorite items at my mother's house. So I had to show this off.
It is awesome.
Isn't it so cool?
It's like frozen waves.
Yeah, yes. Let's see here. Okay, and I just had to take a picture of this. We both collect, you know, stones, fossils, plants, everything. And so this just kind of shows like one of her little areas. I call these at my house, I call them my little altars. I don't even know if she has a name for her, but she's doing the same thing. We're collecting what feels good to us, and we get to, walk by it each day in our own home. So this is one of the one of her little shelves.
Very
Um,
nice.
yeah. And then the last one, so she found these mushroom sculptures, I think maybe at a garage sale, and of course had to have them. And I just love them. So they'll go out on her porch in the summertime and then they come back in the wintertime. But yeah, I was just looking around her house this morning and I was like, this is where I get it. This is why I'm constantly collecting the odd things that I just love and I'm displaying them around me. I get it from her. So I call it our whimsy.
I love those mushrooms.
Yeah, aren't they so cool? I'm so jealous of these.
Yes. How tall you think they are? A couple feet, maybe 2 feet tall?
Yeah, I would say at least 2 feet tall. Yeah, maybe a tiny
They're-
bit taller than that, but not much. Yeah.
wow. They're
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I've been just looking around her house this morning, enjoying all the things that she does. All right, that's all that I had.
Okay, you want to go to my snow picture?
Yes.
We have snow. There's Al. I don't, you can't really see him there, but he's waving.
I did not see him at first until you said that. I'm
Yes,
gonna zoom in
yes,
a
there
little.
he is.
All right,
There he is
anyone
waving.
watching, I'm putting my mouse around him. There we go. Hi, Al. Yeah, you guys got hit, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Well, of course, we knew we were going to get snow because the persimmons had spoons this year inside their
Hmm.
seeds. I call them shovels.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense, right? Shoveling the
Hmm
snow.
hmm hmm
Yeah, that's a lot. And how cold did you say it was right now?
It was right now. Oh, well, this morning it was 9 below outside, and right now probably, mm, I don't know, maybe ten
Yeah.
degrees or 12 degrees, something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It's still
Yep.
under, it's still cold. Well, we're low, we're very low, and so we're colder than most places in the
Yeah.
area.
Okay. Yeah. So it might take a little bit.
Hmm Yeah,
Um,
and we're 2 weeks behind in the spring, when the things start to bloom everywhere. We're 2 weeks behind because we're
oh,
so
really?
low and we don't get as much sun because we're in a kind of a hole. That's why they call it a
Yeah.
hole here. It's not really a valley, it's more of a hole.
Just a hole. Doesn't sound
It's
as
closer to
fancy.
the earth, which I love.
Yes, for sure. Ooh, well, I hope you two are staying warm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're up to 21 degrees today, so that we're pretty good.
Oh,
But yeah, we were
you're better than
negative.
us.
Yeah, we had 2 days ago, I think it was -9, but it felt like -21 or something like that. So
Oh, geez. Yeah.
yeah, we had to bundle up the dogs and put their little boots on, and they were so annoyed that we were doing that to them. But yeah.
Yeah.
Safety first.
Geez. Safety first. Yeah, for sure. Let's see, what else have I got here? Oh, let's see. You want to go to the little sheep?
Little sheep?
I just thought
Yes.
I just thought that was so cute.
He's so
Be
cute.
the sparkly one. This is from Wall for Self-Love on
I love
Instagram.
it.
Be the
Yeah, I love
sparkly
this.
one. And you've got a sheep that's covered in sparkles.
Yep. And I like how the sheep is just looking at the camera like, yeah. So cute. Yeah, I loved
Yeah,
this one.
it's really cute.
It kind of goes with the whimsy.
Yes. And then this next one next to it,
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
often from the same wall for self-love on Instagram. I'm
mhm.
often mistaken for an adult because of my age. We got them fooled.
Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Yes, I love this. I also like that he's holding a mug that says I'm baby.
I'm I'm the baby. That's right.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, I need a t-shirt that says that on
And then
there.
go to the wizard one.
Yep.
Let's see, what does she say? Instead of worrying about what you cannot control, shift your energy to what you can create. And
Ooh.
I thought that was, I just love this one. This is from the Chaotic Crone on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. And I just love this because here you've been talking about all these things that you want to create.
Yeah.
And that is just so cool. And with me, I've been writing, so that's my form of creation right now. And I don't think you have it on there. I sent you a picture of flowers.
Oh,
Did you?
yep, hold on. Yes, I thought I did do that, but you're right. It's not on there. I can put it on there real quick. Oops.
Hmm.
Oh, somehow I didn't download it to my phone. Okay, yep. Let me get that real quick. There it is. Yeah, this is so cool. All right. I'm getting ready to upload it right now. Maybe. There we go. Okay, here it comes. Let's close out of this. Let me refresh my page. There it
There
is.
it is. There it is.
Okay. My computer feels like it's snowed inside my computer too.
Yeah.
It's so slow. Okay, here we go. Look at
It is,
this.
isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
And you were, you're talking all that you've been talking a lot about creativity. And here this
Mm-hmm.
lady on Instagram is saying, to be creative. And I just had to bring this out. This was my Christmas card from my sister, Carol. And this is one of her paintings that she did. And it was on her card,
Yep.
on the card. Isn't that just
Yes.
beautiful?
Yes, I
So
love it.
people who can be so creative is just, I just admire that. Yes,
Yeah.
I create in my writing, but oh, this is oh, people can
This
put
is
things
so beautiful.
together. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the name of that kind of plant. They're all over Florida. I can't remember what they're
Oh, are
called.
they really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I want
beautiful.
to say azaleas, but I don't know. I'm not sure. No, azaleas had smaller leaves. I don't know. I can't remember. I should have looked it up.
Yeah, this is just gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, when you sent it, I wondered if your sister had painted it. I didn't even see her signature on here.
yeah. You can
But yeah,
barely see it. It
yeah,
just, what I had come across. Okay, let's go to that next thing that I had on there.
yeah.
Let's see, pull that one up.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with my computer today.
Snow inside.
Mm-hmm. I was just having a hard time. Okay, well, we'll wait for it to.
Okay.
Um,
Well, what it's about is something called metacognition. And when you're doing your creative things,
mhm.
when we try to do something creative, we're actually starting to build new neurons, new pathways. Our mushrooms have
Mhm.
those my myceliums that create new links within our brain. Well, so every time we're doing something creative, or when we think of something in a different way, we're starting to build more pathways in our brain. and it's called metacognition.
Oh,
And this is from Nature Cure. The highest form of intelligence isn't IQ, it isn't logic, it is it isn't memory or speed. According to neuroscientists, the rarest intelligence is something else entirely. Most people never develop it, and those who do quietly outgrow everyone around them. Neuro-
really?
Yeah, neuroscientists, and they name who they are, agree on this. The highest form of intelligence is metacognition, the ability to think about your own thinking. So, when you're going around and you're doing something creative, you know how you think, oh, why would I do that? Why do I like that?
Yeah.
You're re-looking at something. So what you're doing is you're building new pathways. And they talk about this and how we can use it in our everyday life besides just creativity. The ability to think about your own thinking, not reacting blindly, not running on autopilot, but observing your mind in real time. My sister would always say to me, my sister Carol would say, Casie, the reason you can't paint or draw isn't because you can't hold a brush or, you know how to draw a circle and a line and everything. It's because you don't look. You don't look deep
Yeah.
enough. She'd
Yeah.
always say, well, look again. And so that's what when we are doing something creative, we're looking deeper by
Mhm.
observing your mind in real time. You're asking your mind, how can I improve this? What can I do that's better?
Yeah.
That's metacognition. You notice your thoughts. You question your reactions to things. Like with your painting or doing something like that. Should I put some highlight over here? Should I do this over there? Is
Mhm.
this balanced right? I don't know why is it like this? Anytime you ask yourself a question, yeah, you're into metacognition. So you notice your thoughts, you question your reactions, you interpret emotional reflexes. So, you know,
That's
and
huge.
you update beliefs instead of defending them. So like, oh, you used to think this way now, or is that really valid today?
Yeah.
Should I do? I'm rewriting book fours. I'm editing it, and I thought,
Hmm.
oh, I was ready to send it off to Katrina. I thought it was perfect. And I've been going through it. I'm on chapter 15 and going through it really carefully. I made some major mistakes. I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as I'm making these corrections, I'm
Hmm.
adding more uh, mycelium. I'm adding more neural pathways in my brain just by stopping and asking myself, what it, was this right? Wasn't this right? That's
Yeah.
why creativity is so important.
Hmm.
Every time you say, wait, why did I react like that? Your brain starts changing.
Hmm.
Hmm. Neuroscientists found that when you observe your own thoughts, a region called the anterior prefrontal cortex, or the BA10, activates. So that's somewhere in the front here.
Okay.
Um, this region isn't for action. That's usually at the very top of the head is your motor skills. And it's not for emotion. It's for self-observation.
Mm.
You know, I
Wow.
I once went to, I used to go to brain lectures every month put on by this doctor of brain surgery stuff or whatever. And he had said that right behind the ear, the left ear, right there, is where your brain tells you about yourself. And
Really?
so, yeah, so he knew right away if somebody came in and they couldn't find themselves, that he knew
Hmm.
that they were having a stroke in that area. And so, I used to give a lot of speeches. And so one of my speeches was about this kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And really, like a couple weeks later, I got a call from one of my friends, and she was quite elderly and she was in the hospital. And she said that she went to reach for her phone in the morning and she couldn't find her hand.
Oh,
She didn't know where her hand was.
yeah.
And she remembered my speech about where that was in the brain, and she knew she was having a stroke. So without knowing where her hand was, somehow or another, she was able to push a button on her phone and it went right to her girlfriend. And she told her girlfriend she was having a stroke, and she got to the hospital and she was fine after that. They gave
Wow.
her the
Yeah.
stuff that they give you.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
remember my grandma after having a stroke, she would just have her arm in the air. And then we'd say, Grandma, your arm's in the air. She'd go, What? I mean, yeah. And then eventually, as it healed, she got those back. But yeah, I
same
forgot
thing,
about that.
yes.
Yeah, until you
Yes,
said that.
it's behind the left ear. All these
Yep.
different things. The brain is so important. And
Hmm.
yes, it'll build new neural if that part of the brain is wrecked totally,
Yeah.
the neural pathways will build a new way of understanding where your hand is, or where.
Yeah.
I remember this
Oh,
lady, I used to volunteer at a nursing home years ago. I gave them all facials and manicures and pedicures
yep.
and stuff. I would do that every Monday. And this one lady, Mary, she was always saying, Where am I? Where am I? Where am I?
Hmm.
And they would tell her, you're at Oak Grove nursing home, wherever it was, in Florida. And after I had this class, I knew what she had a stroke here. She didn't know, she wasn't asking where she was living. She was asking, Where's your body? Where am I?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so interesting. Yeah,
So one of the ways that we can build our neural uh, uh, transmitters inside of our brain is to ask ourselves questions.
hmm
Why do we do this? Is this still relevant? Do I still like this? Do I still want to think this? Do I still like this TV
Yep.
show? Or do I like, and why do I like that?
Yeah.
And every
Yes.
time we begin to think about it and answer, we begin to build neural pathways.
Hmm.
And one of the things that I say all the time is choose again,
Hmm.
choose again, choose. And
Yeah.
choose again is a method, a quick method of like, do I like this? No. Yes. Yes. No. What? Ask again.
Yes. Yeah.
Is this for
I
me
love that.
now? Do I need to choose again?
Yeah. Yep. I love that. I um I love that so much. It's something I don't know, I'll probably be working on that the rest of my life. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't think that work ever stops, but I try to verbally do that in front of my kids, even just so they know that like I'm still, I'm not always happy with how I act or how I react or whatever. And if I don't, then I will talk about it in front of them and say, hey, sorry I reacted this way. This is why I did it. And now I see, I see that about myself and I will be changing it. But if I don't talk through that with them, how will they know how to do it later? It's like, so it feels messy and personal, but I don't know. I do think it's good to teach it and it's good to do it. Like, why do you do the things you do? Why do you react the way you do? Do you like that? Do you want to keep thinking that? What do you want to change? Yeah.
Yeah. That's why they have in a lot of self-help programs, they'll have this thing where let's name what it is that you're thinking about. Because
Hmm.
once you can name it, then you've
Yes.
identified it, and then you can let it go
Yeah.
and try a new thing.
Yep.
So I just but that's
Yep.
this. I just thought this was so fascinating. This
I
is
love it.
the yeah. It's so it's not it's not a thing of let's think positive about everything. It's
Yeah.
that's not what this is talking about. Trying to think positive and be, let's go to the light, you know, that kind of stuff. That's not
Yeah.
necessarily the answer.
Hmm.
They're saying that, and they've got you hooked up to these real-time electrodes that they can see what part of the brain is firing up as you are being questioned by these different things, and if you're
Hmm.
re-questioning something, a behavior that you have. And so that's how they know what part of the brain is controlling this.
Oh,
um,
nice. Yeah.
so it says to pause instead of reacting to things if you
Hmm.
can, or even if you have to walk away and take a breath or two, And then you ask, now why was I so upset?
Yeah.
My body obviously reacts that way, but why is that really
Mhm.
relevant anymore?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so instead of going into me, I have a tendency to step into a defensive mode. I have way too many warriors in my ancestry. Give me a pickaxe
Hmm.
and
Same.
I'm ready to
Yep.
chop someone.
I'm
So
ready to
I'm
go in
very,
battle every time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Too many berserkers back there. So instead of going into when I feel the defensive mode coming on, I can stop and start asking questions. Well, is this really
Hmm.
relevant? Do I really need to do this? I mean, do I really need to sink this axe in through their head? You know, would that solve anything?
Should I
I wonder.
self-reflect first? All those
And
important questions.
yeah, yeah, it's so by asking ourselves questions, and I remember when Al was going to post-traumatic stress disorder classes down at the VA for all these Vietnam vets and a lot of other vets who had come back from Desert Storm. And
Hmm.
yeah, this was back, there were a lot of younger men there from Desert Storm. And that was one of the things that they would have them do to get them to settle down right away, was to get their mind to start asking questions.
Yeah.
Because remember, I've talked about the amygdala and how it gets us
Hmm.
into that loop.
Yeah.
And so this is a way to get out of that loop and
Yeah.
ask questions. But I never really thought of, by asking the questions, that I was rebuilding neurotransmitters. I was rebuilding links like the
Right.
mushrooms.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I like that too. I sometimes you do feel like you're in a loop, even if it's self-reflection. Sometimes I feel like my self-reflection is even in the loop, but to know that I am rebuilding my brain while I'm doing that is kind of some motivation to keep doing it, keep at it, because you're just going to get better.
I saw this girl on TikTok or Instagram, I'm not sure, but she had said, she asked the question and she wanted people to answer her, why do you do art?
Oh,
Why? Why do you
yeah.
do it? And she was real curious why. And I am thinking that the reason we do things that are in the artistic world
Mhm.
is because we're building a new brain.
Yeah. Yeah, we're evolving somehow.
Yes. Evolving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
love that. I love that. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Casey, for sharing this with us. I think, yeah, all of us can do this. We can always keep questioning ourselves and growing our brains and fixing them. So, thank you, everybody, for joining us this week, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.